And welcome into this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge. Todd 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope everybody is doing well. Excited to dive into today's show. Number one, I'm feeling good, Chase. I just was telling you guys we had that first and 10/A club event last night. And man, it's nice catching up with a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces, and also establishing new connections, right? That's what it was all about. And if you guys are wondering what that is, so basically what it is a first and 10 club is basically designed to help help current players establish relationships with, people that are involved in all walks of life in terms of different businesses and aspects like that. So there's folks in the real estate field. There's folks from the financial sector. There's folks from pilots there. Any field you can pretty much think of, there's going to be a representative there. And the cool thing is, and I didn't realize I know the A Club is, definitely, former student athletes from here at the University of Alabama, but I didn't realize First and 10 was also along the lines of that. But what they did, I think this was actually really smart. They combined the two, and they had both groups in attendance. And I want to take a minute real quick to brag on the guys from the team, Chase and Reed. I know you guys are back there behind the glass. You talk about a good turnout, and I'll say this: we've always had these events, even back when I was in school here. Before that, I think they said last night, First and 10's been a thing for like 40 years. But it's always like I guess it's probably somewhat mandatory, but technically it's not. I guess you know what I mean. They've always had it. I remember when I was in school, they say, "Oh, we got the First and 10 event. Y'all need to be there. Put on a polo and whatnot." And I feel like, guys would show up, but sometimes it's kind of like in and out. Guys are just going because they have to go, right? But last night, man, I got to brag. First of all, I was talking to Clinton Dix, who's definitely there. And he said damn near looked like the whole team was there, which, he was extremely impressed by that. And number two, not only were those guys there, they were engaged. And they were actively, seeking to find people to network with, to learn more about. A number of guys were really heavily interested in real estate. And I thought that was cool because what that tells me is these guys are taking advantage. And we always talk about NIL. We always talk about these guys and these opportunities that they have. I know you guys hear me talk about it all the time, but to see them actually, say, hey, man, I want to learn more about real estate. How can I find ways to get in that while I'm here in college? I was extremely impressed. And I think one of the coolest things, which obviously I'm going to be excited about this because this one's, an opportunity for me. I found out that they offer basically like the course to get your real estate license. They offer it to these guys completely free. Like if you want to get involved in real estate, you want to get your license, obviously now would be the time to kind of do that, right? It's summer. You have a little bit more free time. During the fall, probably be a little bit more tough. But they do that. And I guess they even allow it for some former players. I don't know if they just were being nice or what, but I already decided, Chase. I'm like, all right, man. You guys know me. I like challenging myself. I like putting myself into, different territory. I've always, obviously you guys here, I do some rental stuff, but I don't have my license. I've always thought about doing it. Well, now I'm convinced, man. After hearing that, I'm like, wait, you've got guys on the football team that are actively pursuing this. They've even been doing it with guys with the basketball team. I didn't know they even had that. And I'm like, man, I don't know if they had it when I was in school, but I know if they did, I would have been the first one in line. But just to really see that these guys are taking advantage of those opportunities, I thought it was so cool. And they're going to definitely get a head start to a lot of things. Because if you think about it, like they have a great opportunity. Get the money that they're getting now, invest in some real estate while you're in college. You're instead of paying a landlord, you're paying yourself. You're investing in that property. Then when you leave, just rent it out to the next group of guys that come in. So anyway, that was pretty much what the event was last night. They had food, they had drinks, but it was really good. Got to catch up with a lot of people, got to meet a lot of new people. We have a ton of people, Chase, by the way, that love the show. I can't tell you how many people kept coming up to me saying they love the Miller's Edge. They listen to it every single day. So you're obviously a huge part of that. So I wanted to give you that compliment, not so much for me, but for you, Chase, because, you do such a great job behind the glass. You and Reed back there helping you out, man. So pat yourselves on the back, man. A lot of people love the show and they love what we're doing. And so that was exciting. So that was what I was doing last night. I met a number of people that were actually going to start getting over on the show as well. So I'm excited for that. Let you guys get some more perspectives, some more, some familiar faces as well. Some former student athletes that played sports here, that are definitely involved in some business in the state of Alabama, but they have a lot of knowledge. And so we're going to start getting them on the show as well. So definitely looking forward to that. But again, just wanted to give a big shout out to Patrick Morgan, who's president for First and 10, BJ Stabler, who runs the A Club. Both of them collectively doing a great job putting on that event. And then again, last but not least, shout out to the players for not only attending the event, but showing up and actually taking it serious, applying themselves and taking advantage of those resources, man. I loved it, man. I loved every part of it, and I thought it was really awesome and probably the best event that they've held yet. So again, shout out to everybody that was a part of that, including all the representatives as well. Thank you all for y'all's time and investing in these players and offering those connections and those relationships. That is huge for student athletes. So I just wanted to say that. That being said, what do we have on the ticker for today? Well, it's dog days of summer. We're actively searching for some good content. Well, we never got to that Kalen DeBoer sit down with AL.com. So we definitely want to dive into that, hear what he had to say. And so we're going to plan on doing that. But per usual, there's always different things coming up left and right. I did see something with Joel Klatt. He was talking about the key to the SEC championship game. And I want to say it definitely involved Alabama. So we will visit that and see what he had to say when he was speaking on his show, the Joel Klatt Show. We'll dive into that a little bit, plus a couple other things that popped up here and there. We're going to take a dive into per usual. But you guys know the drill. If you see anything, you got anything on your mind you want to talk about, 205-342-9904. That is the number to the program. I see Q, I see Ricky, I see Mike, I see all you guys in the YouTube chat. Friendly reminder, if you guys want to watch the show, you want to see me do the show live, you want to watch what we put on the screen, the interviews or the video we're about to play with Kalen DeBoer, check us out on YouTube at The Miller's Edge, completely free. All we do is ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And you can always interact in the chat, drop your questions right there. Encourage you to do that. Plus, you can always download that Tide 100.9 app. That way you can listen to the show virtually anywhere if you don't hop on YouTube. You can always use the app, dial it up. That's what everybody that we were visiting with yesterday, a lot of them not from Tuscaloosa, but what do? They listen to it on the Tide 100.9 app, so you can always do that as well. So make sure you guys take advantage of all those things. Quick timeout. We come back. We're just getting started right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. We'll be right back.
.1230 Sports Radio Studio is presented.
What's up, guys? Q, Ricky, Mike, what's going on? And everybody else in here. I see everybody rolling in. Welcome in. Hope you guys are doing well. We're in here. Roll Tide. Yes, sir. Roll Tide. I need your take on the UGA matchup going into Athens. Damon Wilson and Kirby Smart. Excited for their edge guys coming back this year. Our matchup in the trenches going into Athens is going to be tough. Dwight, what's up? Kenji, how are you? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Yeah, I'll look in. I think that's what Joel Klatt. I didn't dive all the way into it, but I'm pretty sure Joel Klatt was talking about that matchup. So that we'll segue into that here in a second too, Ricky. Yeah, because he that's what I thought he was saying. Joel Klatt thinks that's going to decide the SEC championship. Oh, you tagged us in something, Dwight? Let me check it out. But what was he saying? Is he saying the winner? Alabama's at Georgia. Hello, it's obvious. Well, I don't have to go into it deeply. Not only be a great game, but a highly meaningful game. Winner of this game likely go. I mean, fair. Winner of that game likely goes to SEC championship game. I feel it. I mean, I wouldn't say. It's like 100%, but I mean, I feel it. Let's see. Hold on, Dwight. I'm gonna head on over there. Let me just finish turning this on real quick. All right, that's on. Share this with our Twitter. And Good there. All right, cool.
8,000, and let me fight for you. And when you,
all right, let me see what you got over there, Dwight. Oh yeah. That's right. Let me. Oh yeah, we didn't get to that yesterday too. Appreciate that. Oh, and that's on the secondary. Yeah, we got to dive in that for sure.
You need with the Ryobi
In a Spanish rut. Hey man, Q. The thing is, it's all right to take breaks, brother.
Get for the.
And no, that's completely normal. Just know that, man. Trust me. I get like there's times literally where I'll be like, damn, I feel like I don't even know anything, and I'm like, dude, I must be just forgetting everything. It's not true though. And we're back right here on the Miller's Edge Thursday edition, Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Try before you buy, nothing to lose. Clinically proven to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain for short weeks, man. Not your typical arch support. You hear me talk about them all the time, and rightfully so. I'm telling you guys, man, game changers. If you guys need that pain relief, you're dealing with some bad knees, you got to wobble to your walk, your hips are stiff, lower back's tight, check out the Good Feet Store. You'd be surprised, man. I know, you're wondering how your feet are involved with that, but everything starts from the ground up, man. You need a strong base, a strong foundation. You can see here they got right there on their website, man. They got the video that shows you how your arches, are supposed to be supported and how their arch supports will do just that. So make sure you guys check them out, man. Again, these things are engineered, high quality, one of a kind. They're not what you just go get at CVS. So make sure you guys check them out if you're in any type of pain, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, back pain. Midtown Village here in Tuscaloosa is their location, but you can always find the nearest location to you. I know we got listeners literally all over the country, But the good news is it's a Good Feet store all over the country. Birmingham, there's also one. South Alabama, there's also one. But make sure you guys check out the website. Right here, you can type in your zip code, and it'll pull up the nearest location to you. Easy, done deal. Plus, you can always schedule an appointment if you like. But walk-ins are welcome. Again, that is the Good Feet store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. All right, so I know I want to get into the Kalen DeBoer interview with AL.com. Obviously, there's always going to be some little summer updates here and there. Probably, some of the similar questions we've heard. But anytime that the head man speaks, we like to listen, so we're going to dive into that. But since that is a little bit longer, we're going to push that for a second. And I just got reminded, just thought of this, by the way. 12:30, we will be joined by Reagan Starner of R&R Cigars. Big fight weekend this weekend. We'll get his thoughts on those fights. He'll tell you a little bit about what they've got planned for this weekend, why you guys need to go check it out. Plus, Reagan's a big college football guy, man. So we're definitely going to get his college football takes as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. All right. Pat is on the phone lines. So I say we just give Pat the floor, Chase. Why don't we just go ahead and open things up with Pat? We always say we like going to the people, and I know in the past sometimes we get pushed back a little bit, and we're always trying to squeeze people in. So new rule, man. When the people come on, we go to the people. 205-342-9904. Pat, talk to me, man. How are you this morning?
I want to know, undoubtedly, I'm away from my mainframe for recruiting today. I'm down South Alabama and just got my cell phone to try to figure things out. What time is Shutter going to announce today for the University of Alabama?
I'll Google it for you. I don't even know. You said, what is his name?
Yeah, Max Shutter, 6'5" tight end from so far north that it's actually cool where his house is.
So he's from way up there. You said Max Shutter? I might not be spelling that right, man. Let me just type
maybe SCHUTTER, maybe Shutter. And maybe SUTTER. And like I said, I'm away from my main computer.
Man, Chase, do you have any knowledge on that, man? I'm trying to look this up. I don't think I'm spelling his name right, man, because it didn't come up.
I just had him. So he's one of two potential commits today.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe we're not spelling.
I see him. It's Mac AMCK, and then his last name is SUTTER. I'm looking at 24/7 Sports. I know he's got some from Alabama, Ohio State, and Ole Miss. So yeah, it's pretty legit. But yeah, that's how you spell his full name.
All right, so thank you, Chase. Yeah, because I was looking up Max Shutter. It's Mac Sutter.
Mac.
Yeah, it's Mac Sutter. Okay, I got it. Mac Sutter. Okay, thank you guys. All right, yeah, I looked it up. Announces finalists. I don't see. Here we go. Maybe this says it right here. So he's from Illinois. Man, we've been going in the Midwest a lot recently, right? I mean, dang. Oh, he's announcing commitment.
You gotta go where they at, you know?
Yeah, well, Illinois and where's the other New England or wherever the hell we've been looking at players. That wouldn't be my first choice, but you're right. Hey, if they can play, they can play. Yeah, 7:45 Central Time is when he's announcing.
Oh, okay. So he's announcing the same time as our other recruit. He's at 6:45 today, I think.
Well, this guy's 7:45, but yeah, right around that time. Yeah, 7:45.
But that's 7:45 Eastern. That'd be 6:45 Central, same time.
No. 7:45 Central Time.
Oh, okay. He's an hour later. Darn.
Yeah, 7:45. So you got time to watch both. You got time to get your popcorn, Pat, sit back and get up, kick your feet up and start, getting all giddy for these guys that you're hoping to land.
Hey, I'm praying that we're not going to need the theatrics of popcorn. You hear me? I want people just to come out and say, "Hey, I'm going to the University of Alabama." Unlike Ohio State University, I don't give them a credit for saying the Ohio State University.
You don't give them credit for saying that? They just won a national championship, Pat.
Absolutely not.
You don't want to give them any respect, man. I mean, they just won a national championship.
Zero. Ring rubbed out.
Wait, hold on. But what's the beef with Ohio State? Am I missing something?
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's Ohio State, but I mean, you're talking like they're Auburn or Clemson.
They used to have a coach that wore a sweater vest. You can't like anybody that wears a sweater vest. Come on.
A sweater vest.
Forgive them for the sweater vest. Come on. You know what I'm telling you.
Isn't that what Lou Holtz used to wear?
I ain't talking about Lou Holtz. I'm talking about that fellow with them beady glasses. That is.
Like he had some beady glasses.
Yeah, had beady glasses too. Kind of like that coach over at Auburn.
There we go. I knew Auburn was going to sneak in there. All right. Well, hey, look, you keep putting me onto these recruits. I appreciate that. Because I'll be honest with you, Pat. I have no clue who any of these guys are. Max Sutter. We got his highlights.
Read about him. Hey, he is a legit. I mean, coaches, they've done the evaluation on him. He's going to be a legit pass catcher, and he's big enough to put on enough weight to be an inline blocker also.
Yeah, I'm looking at him, man. I mean, he's definitely a big 50 ball option. I mean, he's a tall. He's listed at 6'6". First clip, they're throwing it up to him. Second clip, same thing. Nice back shoulder by that quarterback, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. He's playing quarterback in this third clip.
Yeah, well, he's an athlete now. I mean, you understand that before you were born, Coach Bryant would go and he would get the best athletes on the team, usually was quarterbacks, and he made them into other positions.
Hell, I'll give you a very recent example of how that's worked out well here. Bray Hubbard. I mean, didn't he win like Mississippi Player of the Year?
His junior and senior year. He won the best player in Mississippi, Mr. Football, his junior and senior year.
And he was responsible for recruiting. I know. Obviously, I know we recruited him, but I'm saying, who was his lead recruiter, man? Let me give them some respect. Let me pull up Bray Hubbard and see if we can find his recruiting profile and see if it shows who his main recruiter was. Who found Bray Hubbard playing quarterback down there in Mississippi and said, as a 3-star, and said, this guy is going to end up being one of the top safeties in the country going into 2025.
Hey, he was only a 3-star quarterback because he did not go to any camps. Bray Hubbard is an athlete and was an athlete then. He did not get to be Mr. Football. Huh?
No, I had to gasp for a second. He was recruited by Pete Golding, man. But you guys hate Pete Golding. Yeah. You might need to thank him for that. You got your Bray Hubbard.
We ain't saying Pete Golding. Pete Golding had other issues. Pete Golding, we're not saying he wasn't a very good recruiter.
Hey, hold on, Pat. Hold on, wait, Pat. I just seen this guy just fly off the edge and just decapitate the quarterback. Now, I'm not gonna. I like this guy, man. So he's catching the ball, he's knocking quarterbacks out, and hell, he's even lining up at quarterback and throwing dimes, man. Wait, hold on. He's an outside backer a little bit in that last clip.
Where he's going to school, he has to play both ways, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine so, man. Illinois, I don't know much about their football up there. Oh, look, hold on, Pat. It's not, Pat, I might have to steal this guy from my outside linebacker room, Pat. I mean, this guy just he just had a nice little drop and picked the ball off.
And that's why I said I was on him. I mean, I think a lot of I'm impressed with Alabama's ability to evaluate. And notice I said evaluate like Senator Trent. I'm not Trent Lott, but a senator from Alabama. That when he said she was a vindictive woman, the poor old man. Hey, that was back when you was young too. I
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All you gotta do is look up that lady in Long Dome Silver. That's a bad one.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it wasn't good. They had Senator Hal Heflin from Alabama. Whenever he was, whenever our,
I don't know about that stuff.
I was about to say moments, but I'm on top of it.
No, you're good, man. I was about to say, look, you're good, man. But I'll say this: I like this guy's tape, man. We're watching it here on YouTube again. For our radio listeners, we're watching the tape. You guys want to watch Max Sutter, who will be deciding tonight, 7:45. We got his huddle tape pulled up. Here he is playing quarterback again. So hell, look, you got an emergency quarterback if you need it. Not it's like some frail guy. I mean, this guy's 6'6". I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll say this, Pat. I think he could be a heck of a football player. I mean, he's got the athleticism. He's got the tools. He's physical from there you go. I mean, he just put that DB on his butt. I did see him blocking in the core too. Definitely more of that, receiving threat type of guy, but he's got the physicality to him. He put a little bit of weight on him. He can get the job done inside, I believe. But yeah, we'll see, man. I'll be on the lookout. I hope you're right. What is he? Do people have him like crystal ball to Alabama, whatever they call the terms now?
Absolutely. I think phones. He's been phone balled or phone whatever you call it to Alabama. Several crystal balls.
Several crystal balls. Well, we'll see if those crystal balls are right here in about 7 hours or so. Max Sutter.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I just hate that they're doing it so late that we can't be prime time with Ryan Fowler, the bearded wonder, calling it. I'm just, it's a shame.
I mean, what do y'all want to do, like a live reaction or something?
Yeah. I mean, be able to. I like having Ryan be able to announce them late in the evening. That's good. But now we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow morning with Martin Houston.
So you just like the breaking news. I pray to God this show never turns into we're doing like breaking commitments, man. I hopefully we don't get there, but no, I'm just joking. But yeah, no, I give my approval, man. I give my I'm signing off on him, Pat. You got my approval on Max Sutter, man. We'll take him.
Yeah. I just hey, usually when I tell you about a recruit, I've been looking at him. He's good.
I hear you, Pat, and I trust you, Pat. But let's just call a spade now, Pat. I've never in my life heard you talk bad about no damn recruit either. So it's kind of hard to decipher. I mean, which guy we actually, you know what I mean, Pat? Like, there's got to be one time you got to tell me, you got to find one recruit that you just got to be straight up and say, there's got to find something wrong with the guy. Pat, I'm not gonna lie, man. You got folks in our chat, they're calling you a chapsticker now, man. So I'm just saying now, we got to hear some negativity at some point, Pat. Come on, man.
I'm excited about I'm excited about JJ from up in Illinois, our 3-star. I'm excited about that 3-star, unlike other Alabama people, because I promise you this, he's going to be a high 4-star before December. Watch and see.
We'll definitely watch and see, man. JJ Finch, as you're talking about, he's from Q06's neck of the woods up in Indianapolis, right?
Yep, that's where he looks legit.
Yeah, he looked pretty. He looked pretty good on tape. I will say this, man. At the event yesterday, this is segueing, but you know who I did get to catch up with? He plays edge, but similar positions. Justin Hill, outside linebacker, man. Really, really good dude, man. By the way, and we chopped it up, talk a little bit about pass rush. I'm gonna get him on the show one of these days. But I'm excited to see him in his journey here, man. I think he's gonna be a solid player. I know that was random, but JJ Finch plays D-line. I was thinking about his tape, pass rush, and then maybe remember that, hey, we caught up with Justin Hill yesterday. So,
yep. Hey, look, while you were there, how smooth and how good did my wide receiver from down in Plainview, Texas, look yesterday, or Longview, Texas, look yesterday?
Who? From Longview?
My hurt wide receiver has been hurt. He came in as a 5-star wide receiver.
Jalen Hale?
Jalen Hale. Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sure he looked all right. I mean, the guys just had polos on, just walking around talking. So, I mean, if that's any indication on how he's going to be playing this year, I mean, he should be in good shape. No. I mean, look, I watched him all spring, man. He looks great. And he looks like he's trusting his knee. He's confident. He's moving around great. I think he'll be very much so in the mix in that receiver room. Obviously, there's a lot of depth there, but there's no denying he's a good football player, and he should get plenty of opportunities. I'm excited for him. Glad to have him back.
Oh yeah, I'm excited because they forgot that he was a legit 5-star, and we're not getting any credit. I mean, these people are talking bad about our wide receivers. I mean, I'm talking bad.
Pat, I still haven't seen this. You have to send a link, Pat. I've not heard anybody talk that bad about our receivers. If anything, I feel like they've been getting some credit. You got to tell. I need to find this. We got to talk about it. I need to find the article, Pat. Send us the article.
Yeah. All right.
Pat, we appreciate you.
Hey, look, if you ain't heard a rumor, start one. You hear me?
Pat, you in trouble, Pat. Pat is trouble. We appreciate you, Pat.
All right. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
You too. Take care. Oh, Pat's funny, man. Yeah, he might be following that rule because I mean, Chase. Now look, the last couple years, hell, we even have said on this show, wide receiver room was a question mark. We haven't even been saying that. Well, I've been propping them up, and you guys know. I mean, we definitely gonna be patient when it comes to stuff. But I've been saying, no, I'm impressed. Anybody else on these other videos? We watch a lot of different, faces in the college football world. They've been talking, good about the receiver room. So I got to find whatever source Pat is getting that from. We got to hit a timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling. 205-342-9904 is the number. If you guys want to jump on the phone lines, we are open. Love to hear from you. But we will keep on rolling right here on the Miller's Edge, Title 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Whoops, I meant to mute my mic so I could clear my throat, but I muted the stream. And still clear my throat. All good. Guys, be easy on Pat, man. We look, Pat is our recruiting specialist, but to be fair, we know what we get with Pat. Pat is a chapsticker when it comes to recruiting 100%, man. 100% he's going chapstick. You just got to call a spade. But we love it. We love it though, man. Pat loves his recruiting though, man. I love the passion he has for recruiting. I wish a lot of people could still feel the same way, but recruiting just feels different, man. It just feels a lot different. But I will say though, I mean, out of the recent guys he's brought to our attention, that guy actually he caught my attention a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Carson says 86% to Bama. Oh man, I need to stretch. Sounds like a good sign. let's look at who's in our recruiting. Not recruiting. Sorry, who's in our tight end room right now? Like, let's look forward because obviously I know you still got Cuevas and what's the dude's name? He entered the portal, came back in. Danny Lewis. You had that young guy. Was it Marshall or something like that? One of the tight ends, or two of them might have had knee injuries. I know one of them for sure. I think that true freshman that we just signed from California, I think it is. I haven't really seen him because I don't think he was here in the spring, but I've seen him around. I saw him yesterday, and I saw him in one of the visits. He passes the look test. I'll tell you that, man. Dude, he's a big dude, man. Cuevas, Danny Lewis, and Marshall. Yeah, Marshall's other. Is Marshall the one that tore his? One of them had a knee injury though. One of them had a knee injury. Because one of them still was in his brace, I think. Last time I saw him, like a couple weeks ago. All the tight ends that have transferred in or been recruited have been really tall. Yeah, they like length when it comes to tight end is what I'm noticing. Like I said, that one guy we signed, I'm forgetting his name, man, but from California, is it Caleb something? That's what I'm talking about. But I want to see him play. But his high school tape was solid. But the eye test, he's a big dude, man. Looks like a former Dolphins Mike Gesicki. Is that his name? Whatever his last name is. Yeah, I mean, you could tell he's kind of got more of that slender frame, kind of like Mike, who you're referring to. He'll definitely put some weight on. I mean, he's listed as, where is his On3 profile? I only see like articles, but I don't see his actual On3 profile. Let's just do his 24/7. I don't even know what. I feel like everybody's On3 nowadays. Guys, I'll tell you, I'm out of the loop with recruiting. All right, so here's this Caleb Edwards. Thank you, guys.
Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Thursday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Just got done talking to our recruiting specialist, a.k.a. Pat. And look, he put us on this guy right here, Max Sutter. This guy's making a decision tonight, 7:45 Central Time. I will say we just got done watching his tape here on the stream. Some good tape, man. Some good tape. I love how versatile he is. And then not only that, I mean, in this picture right here, he's wearing a basketball jersey. So he's a hooper too, which doesn't shock me. I mean, 6'5", 6'6", makes sense. A lot of tight ends are hoopers. But, hey, look, he had some clips at outside linebacker, making some interceptions. Saw him demolish a quarterback a couple of times and even line up at quarterback. So I like the versatility. But in terms of him as a tight end, man, no, I like it. I see the potential. I definitely see the potential. He's got other offers from Ohio State, Ole Miss, and we'll see where he ends up. But I like it. No, I think he would be a good get, man. So recruiting is definitely heating up. Like we've said in the past, I mean, summer is the new prime time for recruiting. A lot of these guys want to get decisions made before their senior year. And now with the new signing day really being like 90% of guys are signed by December now. Summer is kind of like, the main time for recruiting. So we'll keep following it. I know there's a lot of you guys that love recruiting. Obviously, we dibble and dabble in it, especially when Pat calls. But that's about as much as we do. But if you guys want to talk about it, we'll dive into it. That being said, trying to catch up with some of y'all on the chat, but we'll do that during the next break. We got a few videos to get to per usual, right? We're always breaking stuff down. Dwight tagged us in one. I want to get to this one because it is pretty quick. It's like 4 minutes long. And that was the newest update with the Bama Standard Series. That's actually been pretty good. It's highlighting each position group. And so what we'll do is anytime we have a new episode, we'll really dive into those groups. So this new episode is based on the secondary. We'll definitely plan on doing that. So we can start there. But I do know there was also an article. It came out yesterday that we didn't get to. And I'll segue into this when we lean into that Kalen DeBoer interview. But I thought this was interesting, guys, and this is coming from On 3. I'll share it real quick, but just to kind of preview it. But basically, we heard all the talk, with the FSU's quarterback, Castellano, whatever his name is, Tommy Castellano. And then I guess even going back to the Diego Pavia thing, trading shot. Let me not even say trading shots. Hearing Ryan Williams mention something and he's making comments. What I'm getting at is we've been hearing a lot of people have Bama's name in their mouth. And I know in the past, like we've heard like, oh, we want Bama chance, fans saying it, but the team was kind of like, oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Now it's like these dudes actually, they want Bama. They don't think it. They do because they think they have a legit shot. And look, you can understand, right? I mean, you see, 3 losses last year, even going back with Coach Saban, Tennessee and LSU back in 22. People's confidence have slowly been rising. I just feel like that fear factor for Alabama, probably since about 22, has slowly started. I want to say diminished. It's not diminished, but it's dwindled down some. To be fair, I don't think people see Alabama on a schedule and have the same fear that they once had. And look, it's hard to maintain something for literally years and years. I always tell people that, like, it's kind of natural. That being said, there was an article with On 3, and I don't know if Kalen DeBoer said this. Chase, do we know if yeah, I don't think he said this, but I think they were saying it for him. But basically, reminding the world that Alabama is still a premier program, one that will stuff you in a locker if you start feeling too good about yourself. I agree with that. And I want to dive into that here in a little bit because I mean that should be the goal. Instead of just saying Bama standard, like the goal should be getting back to that level where teams fear you, they don't want to play you. How do you get to that? Well, it takes a lot, and you really prove it. You don't do it by talk, you do it by actions. So really, you just got to go out there and prove it. But in terms of Alabama, man, if we could get back to that point, everything else will take care of itself. I mean, there's no point talking about other teams, records, goals, this and that, man. At the end of the day, if you look at yourself in the mirror and just know you're developing yourself, your team, into a team that nobody wants to see, that teams literally go back to saying like, oh, hell no, we don't want them on our schedule. I think we'll be back in good shape. But anyway, I saw that and I was like, man, that would be nice to get back to that point. Because we all know, I mean, like for years, man, like nobody wanted Bama. Even we heard those stupid chants like we want Bama. What were the results? Every single time, what were the results with those chants? Chase, I'm sure you saw those chants and those signs. Were you ever one of those guys holding those "We Want Bama" signs when you were at Mississippi State?
No, sirree. I was minding my business, eating some nachos. I was good.
Nah, that's probably smart, man. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, look. I mean, it was always funny though, because like we would see that kind of stuff, right? We would see teams or whoever like, we want Bama. In our head, we were just like, all right, you want Bama, that's what you're gonna get. But just remember, you asked for it. And then we would just go put belt to ass, and that was that. But anyway, let's get back on track. So the next episode in this Bama Standard series, and now I look at it, this is episode 4. So I'm almost wondering, guys, did we skip an episode? Maybe. If we did, we'll circle back to it. But without further ado, let's dive into episode 4 of the new Bama Standard series from the Crimson Tide on their YouTube channel. You can check it out there, featuring the defensive backs.
When Bama step on the field, everybody fears them. Everybody wants to beat them. The word I use for the DB group is just confident.
From head to toe, we have guys that can play in the next level. So I think it's just a well-rounded group.
Apply the pressure. Quarterback's going to have to force it. We'll be the ball hawks.
How about get off the ground, get off the ground, get off the ground. Good group. That's a good group, boys.
I think the culture in our room is just brotherhood, right? We all got each other's back no matter what.
I think we have a really hungry group, a lot of guys that want to prove themselves.
Our coach just allows us to play the game how we want to play, and just know you always got your brother's back when you step on the field.
I'm only interested to see how much it grows and gels throughout camp and throughout the season.
Making sure everybody on the same line, same sentence, same word. So, I mean, we just go out there and have fun.
You go against those guys so much that they kind of pick up on, what you do. So you got to tune your game and try to find new ways to get open.
You got to bring something different for each of them. You can't just win the same way. And I think that's what makes them as an overall group so good.
So I use the knowledge that I've gained from experience I had to give it to the younger guys.
So I just try to teach them the game and just fundamentals, just slow down, knowing what the formation is and just reading the keys and just going about it. Their focus on is making turnovers, and I think that they do that very well. They have a lot of IQ of the game. They're very smart, so it just makes my job a lot harder. It makes me think a little bit more, and I gotta bring it every day to try to get open on those guys.
That's definitely something that made me make my decision to come to Alabama, because I wanted to practice against the best, and I would definitely say that's 1,000% what I'm doing every single day. So just competing against those guys, it makes Saturdays so easy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Looking, firing towards the end zone. That is intercepted. It's picked off. Alabama getting Xavier Brown with the interception.
For him to go out and do that, some of us kind of expect that from him,
With the last play of the game, and they had to get in the end zone. Xavier made a great play.
When you go back and look at it like, wow, that was a guy playing his 4th college game, making a play like that, it kind of makes you look back and like, wow.
The atmosphere was just crazy.
Good. Should feel strong in my stance. Strong. Here we go. Let's go right foot 3 times. Hit step, right foot. Here we go. Straight back. To hit. Good. Win the pre-snap. Create a plan. To win. Crossover. Good movements. In and out. Good movements.
So Coach Mo, I knew him a little bit before from a different school. So coming in, it's a great experience. His knowledge for the game is very deep. His bag of knowledge is very deep.
Drop. Hips. There we go. Good. Contact.
Coach Mo changed me as a player, as a man, everything. Coming here was just probably the best decision of my life with him, and just breaking every little detail down just so I can really understand the game.
Days like today, they build our football character. We talked about those standards, our discipline, our toughness, our mindset. We got to just keep taking the steps. Yeah, guys? Okay, love you guys. Proud of you, man. Let's keep stacking these days, man, and we'll get right back at it, man. Y'all get a break.
The Bama standard to me is just upholding the standard you hold for yourself every day. Individually, you have a standard you hold for yourself, and it needs to be as high as possible, just like everyone else around you.
To me, the Bama standard is dominant. You just got to go in and just dominate your opponent.
Team goals are the most important, like winning the national championship. I think that's everybody's goal.
Yeah, the goals, it's just go 1-0 each week.
Last year didn't go how we wanted it to, but this year is different. We'll show them when the time comes.
So there you go. Episode 4, defensive back focus, man. I like that. Chase, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like that was one of the better ones that they've had. I don't know why exactly. I don't know if it was like the tape, the music. I don't know. I don't know. That one felt pretty smooth. But when you look at that room, man, you can't help but be excited. I know we've talked a lot about that defensive back room, but there's a reason that PFF feels that they could potentially be the top ranked secondary in college football. I know it kind of varies. Some people might have us behind Ohio State depending on where it is, but man, I look at that room and you're talking about just depth from top to bottom, inside, outside. You got a lot of good talent, and I'm excited about those guys. Xavier Brown, just watching those highlights there, we're just remind you, man, he looks to be next in line and being that the next great young cornerback that we have. That's very standard for us here at Alabama. But Damani Jackson, no denying how solid of a player he is. But Keon Sabb, every time he speaks, man, you can just tell, just like you talk about a leader, man. He's a guy that you need on your football team, man. You can just tell. I mean, the guy is full of wisdom. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience, won a national championship at Michigan, but man, just a very impressive young man and a great leader for this football team and that secondary unit. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed that. They do a really good job with those. Shout out to their creative for putting that on. Those are some really good videos. But anyway, we got to hit a top of the hour break. When we come back, we keep on rolling. Hour number 2 coming right up. We are open on the phone lines. You guys want to get in on the conversation. 205-342-9904. We still got the Kalen DeBoer interview with AL.com. We'll talk a little bit about, plus a few more things on the schedule. Plus, Reagan Starner, R&R Cigars, 12:30. Talk some college football, talk some UFC, boxing, all that coming up at 12:30 Central Time here on the Miller's Edge, Title 100.9, 12:30. WTBC, presented by the Good Tea Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. All right, let's catch back up on some of these comments. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us, man. If you guys haven't, just do us a favor, man. Hit that like button down. That always helps us out. And if you guys know anybody that sports fans, Bama fans, think would enjoy the stream, man, always share it, man. Share it. Don't gatekeep, man. Don't gatekeep. Don't gatekeep the Miller's Edge. All right. Ricky said, not Joel Klatt. Yeah, man. Look, man, you gotta respect the guy. I mean, I know some of his takes are a little, but bro, we needed. I forgot we are going to dive into that for a second. Cutie said Pat needs to stop calling in like he doesn't know what time these kids are committing today. That's what he's asking me, Cutie. I'm like, man, listen, I hardly even know any of these recruits.
In baseball,
Respectfully, Pat, I'm not gonna know what damn time they're making a decision. I've never tuned into commitments, ever. Respectfully, I've never been like that. I mean, like it's just like, all right, we'll find out when they choose. But I'm not. Ever since like the whole like the hats on the table thing, throwing the hat, putting on the shirt, throwing the shirt. I tuned all that crap out. I don't fool with it, man. Like when I committed, I legit picked up the phone. I called Coach Saban, said, "Hey, I want to go ahead and commit. You know, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited. Looking ahead, I'm excited and locked into my senior year. I mean, I didn't take any official visits anywhere. I took one official visit to Alabama. I did not have a hat ceremony. I didn't do any of that shit. You know what I mean? It was pick up the phone, call Coach, and all right, we're good. Brock says, play it again. I just got here. Here, I'll play it I'm going to mute it, though. That way we can talk. I'll play it in the background. I guess I could play the volume low here. For you, Brock.
So I think it's just a well-rounded group.
Play it a little low. That way I can still talk. So I got to catch up on these chats. Pete was a hell of a recruiter. Carson, don't do that, man. Why do y'all think Pete is like the worst coach ever? I'm trying to tell you guys, Pete was one of Coach Saban's favorite coaches, man. Y'all don't believe me when I say that, but I'm telling you that's a fact.
Want to prove yourself?
Our coach just allows us to play the game how we want
to. Dude, arguably only on staff because he was an elite talent evaluating recruiter. No, bro. No. Bro, Pete literally was serving as our defensive coordinator in 2018, and he wasn't the defensive coordinator. Our coordinator didn't even know what they were doing. Pete was the one helping him out. Coach never wanted Pete to leave either.
Tune your game and try to find new ways to get open.
He definitely could recruit. He's a solid dude, man. I'm telling you, that Pete situation is something that Pete gets a lot of flack that really should. Pete would dude. All respect to Coach Steele. Pete way better than Coach Steele. He's better than Tosh Lapoy. I mean, really, look at the coordinators we had in recent years.
And I think that they do that very well.
Looking at obviously Kirby is Kirby. Not even going to Jeremy Pruitt up there, but I would say Pete's probably a bit more, behind those. I mean, let me think. I'm missing somebody. Who was before?
Something that made me make my decision to come to Alabama.
Damn, wait, no, it would have been Pete. Any of those other guys outside of Kirby and Pruitt, Pete
I'm doing every
better than him.
So just competing against those guys, it makes Saturday so
961.
Oh man, Southern speaking Spanish now too. We got everybody speaking Spanish, huh? Justin Hill is probably one of the only natural edges we have on the team.
In the Army National.
No, I agree. That's why I happened to run into him because he wanted to ask me about some real estate stuff. We started talking pass rush and wow, we're gonna definitely connect. But yeah, no, I mean, I remember watching his tape. I told him he's got some natural, stuff to him for sure, man.
Good. Should feel strong in my stance. Strong. Here we go. Let's go. Right foot 3 times.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama.
See, still got a few more seconds before we come back. He's more of a flex tight end, not in line or H. dynamic mismatch pass catcher. We'll add weight though.
So, Coach Mo,
Yeah, no, definitely more of a flex type guy. But I mean, the good news is though he's displayed physicality though. You know what I mean? Like he might have to work on his technique blocking. Obviously, blocking a 285-pound LT Overton is a lot different than a 200 or a 190-pound
Miller. And I want to tell you about our
everything.
But
was just probably the best
look,
decision
man,
of my
he's a
life.
little scrappy. You know, almost like think about a guy like Miller Forstall. Miller Forstall wasn't big, but he was scrappy. Like we used to like when Miller Forstall first got here, we used to jack him up and ragdoll him around, but he wouldn't quit though, right? When he started getting a little bit bigger, he started getting better technique, man. And then next thing you know, it was like, dang, Miller, man, is he grown up? Now I think that guy looks more athletic than Miller Forstall for sure. But I'm saying Miller Forstall played a lot in line. And wasn't very big, but because he was scrappy and had that mentality.
0.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Like that
A mixture
guy,
of clouds and sunshine.
if that is who he is, so I'm seeing him with the physicality there, then he definitely could be somebody like that too.
That's everybody's goal.
Yeah, the goal
For tomorrow,
I don't
partially
like
sunny,
Pete because of that game in 22. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he was perfect, guys. I never said that. I'm just saying he gets a lot of flack that he shouldn't. Let's see.
Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Of course, the QD, him and Coach Mo, man. Y'all can step together, I'm sure. And welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Just got done watching, excuse me, the newest episode in the Bama Standard series. You can find that on the YouTube channel for the Alabama Crimson Tide, completely free. Really good stuff, man. Just some short, 4 or 5 minute videos, excuse me, highlighting each position group. And they're really well filmed. They do a really good job with all that, which what do you expect, man? We went out and hired, Walt, who's, a production guy. He's worked on, films and stuff like that, and a number of other folks in the creative department. So they're doing a good job with that. So that was a good video. I still think, guys, we might have skipped one because I know we saw D-line and I know we saw receivers. What was the other one? We must have chased it? Was there another one that we missed? Or am I drawing a blank? Because I feel like we only watched 3. I guess we can just look on here. I mean, wait, did we ever watch the offensive line one?
Maybe. I don't
really
remember. Yeah.
I don't remember, dude. It's just dog days of summer, man. I know so episode 1 was the receivers. I know we watched that. I know we watched the defensive line because I remember that, Damani and guys were saying like we got the best, but they feel like we got the best defensive line in the country. Now, I'm looking at this offensive line video here, and I don't know if we saw that. It's only a few minutes long. Worst case, we can play it, but we don't need to right now.
Like I've been saying all season, and we're gonna keep saying.
And it sounds like there's another video playing. Yeah, I'm hearing Terrion Arnold talk about naysayers. So, all right, before I get distracted, let's get back on subject. Hour number 2 in the books, but real quick, let me stop sharing that because this clip is playing. Anyway, that being said, all right, there we go. Now it's gone. I was like, guys, I'm hearing the clip play and I'm getting all lost. Sorry, my screen's got all these tabs pulled up and whatnot. Hour number 2, the plan is we got Reagan from R&R Cigars coming up. We're going to talk some college football, talk some UFC stuff. They've got the big fight weekend being played at R&R Cigars. But what I want to do now is I want to jump over to this Kalen DeBoer interview. He sat down with AL.com, and they went over a number of things. It's a long video, so we're going to probably skip through there. Chase was nice enough to go and break all these clips from it down. Chase, I'll play it on my end, but the good news is I have your timestamps. So I can just read your timestamps and just go off of that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull this Kalen DeBoer interview up right now and listen to see what he had to say with AL.com. So let me go ahead and share this with the stream right here. Real quick, Chase, while I do that, is there any DB in particular that you're excited about that when you look at that secondary room that you think, I don't know, you're either excited about or you think he's going to be the guy? I know I'll give you my answer real quick. Really excited to see Keon Sabb come back. Obviously, he was a big part before going down with an injury last year. And again, every time I hear him talk, man, I mean, I'm just really impressed by him. I just know the type of leader that he is. And I think he's going to be huge. Obviously, we know Bray Wyatt. Just getting Bray Wyatt. I'm thinking wrestling, man. Bray Hubbard. Chase, I'm thinking wrestling. I got wrestling on my mind. Bray Hubbard. Everybody's excited about him. But I'm going to say Keon Sabb for me because I know he's bouncing back from an injury. And he just made such an impact before he went down. And then obviously, I love the leadership skills that he displays, and just hearing him talk, man, I definitely respect it. I see Brock says he's excited about Dejoun Lee. Chase, what about you? Who's that guy in that secondary that you're looking forward to seeing this upcoming year?
I would say Xavier Brown. I think he's one of my favorite players on defense. Someone I've kind of gotten to know and really kind of watch his game from time to time. He's been kind of one of the underrated stars last year. I'm looking for him to make a jump. The California product. I feel like he can definitely be that player for Kane Womack, and I feel like the secondary didn't really get a lot of praise last year. I feel like they were pretty good down the stretch of the season, and they're going to turn some heads this year. That's something you can bookmark and save. But yeah, I'm looking for Xavier Brown to be a factor for real.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you. He just reminds me so much of, a guy like Pat Surtain or like a young, I don't know, it really could be, any of those young corners. I mean, even like a Marlon, like just a really good player, really good technique, and just wise beyond his years. You know what I mean? If you talk to anybody up there, they say that like he, like last year, true freshman, but he carried himself and played like he was a seasoned vet. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny, he even looks young, like he's kind of got a baby face, but when he's out there, man, he plays like he's been in college, for a minute. It's very mature, very established. Like I said, great technique. He's a dog, man. So that's honestly probably a really, really good pick. I mean, it really can't go wrong with any of these guys. I just thought it was kind of cool to throw it out there because we just got done looking at them. But some guys that are, I got the depth chart pulled up here. Outside of just the norm, everybody that we know. I mean, Red Morgan was a guy that as a young player, man, obviously he was getting a lot of opportunities. Curious to see kind of where he fits in. I mean, obviously, you got a number of other guys. Xavier Mincy, a big, solid safety. We saw a little bit of him in that Michigan game with Malachi Moore out. He's a guy that has been moved around that whole secondary group, but I feel like they'll probably try to find some opportunities for him. I mean, he's a really good player. Pat loves throwing out that 5-star, right? I'm pretty sure he was a 5-star coming out of high school. So I feel like he could find himself getting some more opportunities. Trey Kirkpatrick Jr., young guy, ran into him yesterday. He's actually one of those guys getting involved with that real estate stuff. So shout out to him. He's getting a head start on all that. But anyway, in terms of his play on the football field, man, he's impressed a lot. And then you look at the transfer. Cam Calhoun did some really good stuff in the spring. I mean, really, Ivan Taylor. I was talking with him yesterday. He wants to get into some broadcast and stuff like that. And so we chopped it up a little bit yesterday. But you look at him; he's got the football pedigree. Watched him this spring. With the injuries in that secondary, he got a lot of opportunities, and he really impressed. He stood out this spring. It's just crazy, Chase. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. And this is not me chapsticking. This is not me just hyping it up. But like really, because I've seen these guys during the spring. Like they really like that. This is probably the most depth on the team, honestly, without a doubt. Receivers, close. Obviously, I think we know we got good depth at receiver. But when I'm looking at all this, I mean, all these names, not just names on paper, but like seeing their name and then thinking about watching them over the spring. I mean, my dad, who just joined on the stream, he's going to be here in a second. He's getting his stuff set up. But, when HaHa made that comment about that secondary unit being potentially one of the greatest he's seen, I mean, look, yes, he's going to be, he's going to hype his guys up, but he works with them, right? Those are his guys. But at the same time, I mean, he's not just going to say nothing. I mean, HaHa will shoot me straight. And if he's saying that, I mean, and I'm thinking about what I've seen, I get the excitement, man. I get the excitement. Arguably the best group on the team, without a doubt. So that will be fun to see. Now, I know my dad did just join. He is up here. No, he's already on stage. He put himself on stage. Look, Chase, he's figuring out technology.
Now.
We need to be careful now. He's joining streams on his own. We don't have to help him do that. He's putting himself on stage. He knows how to mute appropriately and at the right. I mean, what is going on, Chase? I'm in disbelief right now. That being said, let's test it out. Let's before we. Whoa, well, I was going to sound weird. I was about to say before we never mind. Before we hype him up, pause. Before we hype him up, are you good? Can you hear us? Is everything clear? Are you ready to roll?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
man,
the master of this. I got this stuff at the back of my hands, like riding a bicycle. I just, you
well,
know what I mean? Once I get it, once you show it to me, I got it. That's why I was a
fair
captain.
enough.
That's why I was a captain and the leader of defense that I played in. So I'm smart.
That it sounds great, man. I love that. Only thing is, you got one last test, man, and I'm not worried about it. You don't have to, but your camera's
Camera?
not on.
I know that.
Oh, so you
I
intentionally
was
did
doing.
that?
Yeah. I
Okay,
intentionally-
all right, no, cool. No, I didn't know if it was intentional. If it's intentional, that's another check mark, man. He's
Yeah,
intentionally.
man, I did that. Just because I was in the truck. I'm sitting. See, what I
getting set
did
up.
was I came to the back of my crib, and there's a big old oak tree. And it's hotter than, the devil is running around here jogging with a thong on. That's how hot it is. And so,
Whoa! Wait, what? Wait, what? What the hell was that? I've never heard of
bro,
that.
that's hot. That's hot.
Yeah,
And so,
that's hot.
so I wasn't going to the house. It's so hot. I'm not getting out the car. And so I said, let me just link up in the truck with my iPad. And I got my my AirPods on, and I got the air conditioner on. I parked under the shade tree in the back. And my dad used to do it all the time. He just sit in his car and find a shade tree and let all the windows down, go to sleep. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take me a nap right out here in my truck after we get out the air.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's cool. It's
And
hot.
smoke a cigar.
Well, okay, yeah, and it's getting worse. I would not take a nap in this heat. Yeah, I would be careful about doing that. But you're grown. You can figure that out. All right. That being said, so you popped in. We're about to hit this timeout though. But we got Reagan in about 13, 14 minutes or so. But did you want to comment real quick? I don't know if you saw the video, but or listened to it, but highlighted the Alabama secondary group, man. And I'm not gonna lie to you, hopped on at a time where I'm not gonna lie, I was borderline chapsticking, but I don't count this one as chapsticking because I've seen them. I've witnessed them now. They haven't, done in live bullets. We haven't had a game yet. But listen. I just was saying this group is arguably the best group of this football team, without a doubt. And I didn't know if you wanted to chime in on that. If
No,
not,
I agree. I said that. I said that the last time. I thought that the best, most experienced group is your secondary, and you got guys returning that has receipts that have played some really quality football. You got the guy, the transfer from Michigan. I'm drawing a blank with his name. That got hurt. Keon Sapp. Yeah, he's coming back, and he could play, good experience. So I like the secondary. I think across the board, man, they should be one of the best based on experience, based on what we saw on the football field. I would say they would be one of the best secondaries for sure in the SEC, and that could be one of the best in the country. But as we know, if your front seven, especially the defensive line, if they are not contributing and they are not playing quality football, putting pressure on the quarterback, right? Getting that ball out of the quarterback's hand. And we know the best pass defense, even pass coverage, is your pass rush. And if they're not working together in unison, in concert, then they could have a problem. You can have a good secondary, but if your pass rush is weak, your secondary is going to look bad. They can't cover a guy all day for guys like they got time and running around and sit there and eat Tic Tacs and whatever he wants to do while he's waiting for a guy to get open. I mean, that's what Alabama's front four was like last year. I mean, those guys gave a lot of quarterbacks time to throw the football. So if they are better, we don't know this yet, but if they are, let's just go with the sunshine pumping, chapsticking folks that listen to the show, right? That they're going to say they are going to be better. So let's take that. Let's say that they are much better, much improved. Then with that secondary, Alabama has a chance defensively, I think, to be pretty doggone good. And but if they're not, then we're going to be looking at the same kind of deal that we saw last year. So I'm not going to say you were chapsticking, sunshine pumping on the secondary. I think there's enough receipts there to say, hey, these guys are pretty daggone good, and they have a chance. But problem is the front four is pretty bad. I would say their front four, based on last year, is an F. Dude, you saw where they were ranked in the country. You saw where they ranked in the
this guy goes from
What were they ranked in the country last year?
Real
They
quick.
weren't even that top 50 front four concern last year. They weren't even top 50. They were number 14 in the SEC. That's unheard of for Alabama defense.
In sacks, yeah, I will say so. Sack production was poor
your
last
grade.
year.
Their grade would be an F for me.
But you can't give the
based
total
on pass
grade.
rush.
Come on,
Yes,
man.
I
With
can.
all your experience, you can't say a total grade based on pass rush.
They were 14,
That's too much.
bro. 14.
Yeah,
You don't
okay,
think
but
14
what
14.
about stopping the run though? Again, I know we were inconsistent at times, but it actually wasn't too bad. I'm saying, listen, you can't
Now
do a total.
you are sunshine.
That's not sunshine pumping. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If you have any thank you, Duke. If you have any defensive line unit in the NFL, right? Say they're number one in pass rush production, sacks, pressures, whatever. We'll even throw. No, I'm not going to throw tackles for lots. But say then they're the worst in run stopping defense. So would you give them an A because they led the league in sacks, but they were 32nd in the league in running defense? Come on, you have to balance it out.
In the entire time in college football, 30 seconds not bad. But if they're 14th in the SEC,
no. I'm saying NFL 32nd. That's dead last.
Oh well, that's bad. Yeah. Then I would maybe not give them an F. I probably give them a D.
Oh, I feel like you gotta grade it.
You
gotta distribute it. Run defense is just as important as pass rush, in my opinion, brother.
A complete unit. You can't be just good at one thing and horrible at the other thing. So
100%.
And the game today, what's more important? Stopping the run, stopping pass defense. Been great on pass defense. I would say it's pass defense because we are in a passing happy league of football today. Back, 15 years ago, I would say something totally different because they was to be smash mouth, stopping the run, making them throw the football. Crowd the box, 8 men in the box. But today, if you can't rush the passer, that's why these guys are getting paid cheddar, cheese, money out the wazoo. Because if you can rush the passer, you get paid. That's why. So if you can't stop the quarterback from throwing the football down the field, I'm sorry, you get an F in my book. F. Flunk.
But now you're combining several things because if you're saying pass rush and pass defense, those are separate, right? Pass rush goes into pass defense. Pass defense. No, it's not. This is where you're wrong because we were that far down in pass rush production in terms of sack production, but in terms of pass defense, we actually were pretty solid because you got to remember we were like one of the top teams in the nation in turnovers forced, which mostly came from interceptions. Right, our pass defense was actually pretty good. We got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we'll piggyback off of this. I got a quick little thing to throw out there. Then we also got Reagan Starner at 12:30 for R&R Cigars. All that coming up right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 12:30, WTBC. He's talking about chapstick. And listen, hold on. And then QD, Christian, the defense did get better, but it still at times gave up 10 and 15 play drives. I would give the D-line a C-. Hold on. Guys. Just y'all think when I disagree with him and y'all hear him echoing a chapstick, I never said the defensive line got an A. I never said they got a B. I never said they got a C. I said saying an F because of only taking the metric of pass rush production, specifically sacks. That to me is incomplete. I never said QD. If anything, I agree with you. I think that C range, I think I'm fine with saying that. But to me, I would not go over a C. Given, yes, I will take the pass rush production into effect there. But overall, the defense as a total still ended up being one of the best since 2017, whatever that stat is. I don't have every individual stat. I'm trying to find their rushing defense stat from last season. But I do know Yes, at times they gave up drives. Yes, at times they gave up big explosive plays on the ground. It seems like we couldn't find an answer on the ground, but I think it was more of a consistency issue. And there were times we actually did do well stopping the run. So all I'm saying was, F to me is like, come on, man. Like Chase, no stray for you, but you're talking about Mississippi State who won a couple games. I don't even know their defensive stats, but I'm just saying, like, you want to say F, like, come on, man, reserve that for that kind of performance. But you can miss me with like, oh, well, they were 14 in the league in sacks. Yeah, I wouldn't give them an A or B because of that 100%. But
let me ask you this.
Listen, you can't have all I'm going to say is you can't have an F defensive line and have one of the better defenses in the country. That's all I'm saying. That's not, you can't do that.
The Alabama was not one of the better defenses in the country.
Statistically, yes, they were.
Oh, Bill Parcells, I said, let me.
I know stats are for losers. Here, let me run to the bathroom real quick because I know we got Reagan coming up.
You can no.
Listen, keep explaining what you're saying. I'm gonna run. Give me a minute.
I mean, go ahead. See if there's some chapstick in a soap jar in there too, because you need it. Here you go, guys. Alabama was not one of the best defenses in the country. You can't be 14th in your own conference in sacks and then come back and say you one of the better defenses in the country. That's just totally wrong. I mean, could you say perhaps maybe they were average and give them a D, C minus, D if you want? I mean, I might ride with you with that a little bit. But for me and my breakdown, based on, and I'm judging based on who they used to be, based on what that defense was all about, right? They took a huge step down in the conference. So I think they could be better. But on the other hand, I'm giving the secondary their props. I'm giving them their love. I'm giving them their flowers right now because I think they have the potential to be decent. But I know that pass rush and pass defense / coverage it goes hand in hand. And if we didn't get the job done rushing the passer, I think the time is like 3.3, 3.5 seconds. You want that ball out. You don't even want that quarterback to sit there and be able to go through his progression 1 through 5. And then if it's not there, he's going to scramble around. He's going to buy some time. He's going to improvise. He's just going to try to do some other things. No. I mean, you want instant pressure. That's why I talk about the fast twitch guys that can come off the edge, guys that can get quick, direct pressure on the quarterback, guys that got bend, guys that can pick up that tennis ball, so to speak, and flip those hips and flatten out and then close, making that quarterback step up. Even if you don't get the sacks, you want him to step up. You just don't want to be an up the field rusher and open up this big C gap where you can drive an 18-wheeler through it. No, you've got to be able to press. You got to be able to press and bend to get to that quarterback, making him step up. And now your defensive tackles come into play. And they get sacks. Okay.
Okay, everybody. And welcome back into Miller's Edge, Todd 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We're heating up here on the Miller's Edge. We got the Pastor Payne now joining us. He jumped on right when we were giving praises to the secondary, and you know him, boy. The only praises he likes giving is to the Lord. So he actually wasn't too bad. Now I thought he was going to rip me for being
right. Y'all better learn how to give that praise. Because when you praise, you get a raise, baby. You praise your way through. When you praise, he'll bring you out that ditch you in. So yeah, I'm going to praise him and praise the D line. My God.
Jesus Christ. Well, we segued into the D line a little bit. Chase, if you can, we're going to just keep rolling through. Reagan's going to call in about 2 minutes, so don't worry about dialing him up. But what we'll do is, instead of hitting this 12:30 break, if we can, we'll combine. That way Reagan just rolls right in here. Once he calls in, we'll go to him. We'll talk with him, and then we'll hit a break once we finish with him, and you can combine it. That's right. But that being said, before we get Reagan on here in a couple minutes, I'm still trying to find that stat for our defensive line unit. But to be fair, look, we already know how you feel about that. I will say this, well, I at least have this pulled up. So new draft board came out, new NFL draft big board. I know we've talked a little bit about it, but it looks like Alabama's added a couple of guys since we've last talked about it. One of these names, not going to lie, kind of shocked me. Speaking of defensive linemen, they've got Tim Keenan being viewed as a top 50 player according to PFF. and I know that Tim's a great guy. We've had Tim on the show. Love Tim Keenan, man, and a really good football player. But I'm not gonna lie, top 50. I was a little shocked to see him at in that top 50 range. Now we know we've been seeing Caden Proctor, LT Overton, Deontay Lawson, but the other one they also added Bray Hubbard is getting some love. You a big fan of Bray Hubbard? Let me ask you that, man. I know D-line, you think that they need some work, man, but Bray Hubbard, what do you think about him? You impressed?
No, yeah, I said it last time. Remember, I talked about Bray Hubbard. I mean, the dude is a downhill safety. I think he has good eyes. I think he's a sideline to sideline type of guy. Great ball skills, great eyes. Plays really good football with his eyes. He's great in run support when he needs to be that alley player. When I say alley player, kind of like when we talk about defending the option. Of course, you still have the option, but in a different way in today's game. And that safety a lot of times have to be that alley player where he comes downhill and make that open field tackle in the alley, which you want one of your better athletes doing that. And I think Bray Hubbard's a fine football player. I think his size, long, tall, and I think he's a guy that can walk up in the box and do a lot of great things. So I'm extremely impressed with him. And that's one of the reasons I speak highly of the secondary based on his receipts from last year, because I think he gives them a really big bump in that secondary with those corners coming back. They're, very talented there. On the outside, you got your nickel guy, very sad coming back. I mean, you got some players that can do some things that have played in big time games, and that means a lot when you talk about experience is concerned. But Bray Hubbard is one of my favorite players. I like him a lot. I think he plays somewhat a little bit of old school football. To me, he's that Nick Saban type of guy. He plays old school football. He don't mind being physical. He don't mind putting them things on you. And I'm always going to shout out somebody that plays like that. They need more guys, in my opinion, like Bray Hubbard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. He reminds me of those guys in the league. I hate to say those dogs at safety, those white guys at safety that just come down and do their thing, but you can't help but notice it, man. It just kind of gives you that vibe. Anyway, I can get away with that. 54% white. Relax. All right, we got what? That's the 23andMe, man. Read the stats. Look, I know you don't like stats, but that's a stat. That's a genetic stat. 54% white. I can say that. All right. That being said, perfect time to segue into.
I didn't know it was white. It looked like he's kind of mixed.
Who, Bray?
Yeah. Is he white?
Bray is white as white. Bray is from Mississippi. Bray is Mississippi white, man. Great dude, but he got some flavor to him though. He definitely got some flavor to him. But no, he's a solid dude, man. Really nice kid, man. Really, really nice dude. But he plays really hard and really, really good football player. Really good dude. But yeah, no, I'm just being
real quick, Cal, because that or for losers, Bill Parcells has won a couple Super Bowls. I think its words matter at the highest level. Who said that? That's his word. He's just basically saying you can get caught up in stats because stats never tell you the entire story, because one side could be padded based on whatever a certain area of the game, and therefore it may look good, but don't mean that the team is good. So if you get caught up in the stats all the time, like yardage can be, like you talking about yards, it could be overblown because one play, one long run can pad your stats, and it looks like the team could be very good, say, stopping a run. 90% of the time, it give up one play, so it looks like they got drove all game long, and they didn't. So that's what Bill Parcells, when he makes a point that when you focus on stats and you want to judge things by stats, you're going to always lose in that area. So that's why he says stats are for losers.
Yeah, it basically just mean they don't tell the whole story. You can't over rely on stats. And ironically, Kyle, and I'm not trying to take my dad's side just because but you kind of proving his point when you say going off of stats. Hubbard was better than Downs last year. Who's going to be selected higher? You get what I'm saying? Like, if you just go off stats, somebody would say, and don't get me wrong, I mean, Bray Hubbard's going to be a hell of a draft pick when that time comes. But anybody, if you compare the two, is going to lean towards Caleb Downs. That's just a fact. So that's you're kind of proving his point with what he was saying. Stats don't paint that whole picture. That being said, we got to get our guest on here. Reagan Starn of R&R Cigars now joins us. Reagan loves to get real spicy on the show. We've been having a very spicy conversation here. Reagan, welcome in, man. How's everything been? It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Everything is great. Being a dad has been having two kids now is a lot of fun. keeps me very, very busy. So I don't get to do as much on those shows as much as I used to, especially not during football season. But no, it's great. You guys have been having a very heated debate over is a kid from Mississippi named Bray white or black? I mean, you're arguing about who's a better safety last year, Bray Hubbard or the traitor Caleb Downs. Stats are stats. I've just been, just listening and kind of chuckling to myself a little bit. And
Caleb Downs could be a white guy. Caleb Downs.
From Georgia. Very white
Caleb,
name. I will give you.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, technically a Jewish name, I think. Because of the Bible, Caleb in the Bible found the promised land.
Okay, fair.
It looks like Caleb might have found the promised land since he won a national championship.
Hey, and got paid on top of that. Ching, ching. Ching-a-lingo.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Yeah, we got to keep you guys contained. I mean, first it was him talking about the Devils running around in a thong, and now it's
bag chasing. Cool. Whatever, man.
Oh man. Well, let's talk a little college football. Obviously, it's summertime. Normally, we have you giving some picks, but Reagan, when you're looking ahead to 2025, man, I mean, what's your outlook? First and foremost, with Alabama, we've been talking a lot about Alabama, what needs to happen, but where do you see them in 2025, and who are a couple other hot teams that you see this season?
Yeah. Well, I think what needed to happen for Alabama was Jalen Milroe needed to be gone. And I think that's the biggest improvement Alabama has made this offseason. Obviously, getting Ryan Grubb here. I think Ryan Grubb's another huge addition. Because I think when you're talking about when you're hiring DeBoer, it was a DeBoer and Grubb. I think everybody kind of thought you want DeBoer and Grubb. Not that you can't. It's like I still love Kalen DeBoer. I think he's great. But I think he's just even better with Ryan Grubb. I think him and Ryan Grubb would have been able to use Jalen a lot better than Nick Sheridan. I will say that. But I'm still really glad that Jalen is off in Seattle with my buddy Robbie Utes. But look, I think I've talked to a lot of the kids on the players, and they said that this summer has been crazy. They told me, they said they think they're going to win a national championship. So, I tend to believe that. It just sounds like this is like
chapstick on aisle 10, please. Chapstick on aisle number 10.
I don't understand what that means.
Have you heard?
Is that like a boomer thing?
So his term, he has a term for chapstickers. Basically, when people are like overly pumping,
you sunshine pumping, you sunshine. You agree that they might win a national championship?
I haven't sunshine pumped anything.
He said that's what the guy said. I think
I told you what I was told.
Oh, but you said you agree with it.
Well, I mean, if you tell me, when you tell me something, I'm gonna especially if I know you. I mean, think about all the things that you told me. You told me a lot of things. You told me Lenore Sellers was going to win a Heisman. It's okay. I was like, you know what? I believe Corey. You told me that, Shane. You showed me Shane Beamer was going to, win 10 games. Hey, I believe Corey.
No, he was close. He should have won 10 games. But I'm saying, I go out and when people tell me things, I choose to believe the best in people. A lot of times to my detriment. But when people tell me stuff, especially people that I know, people that I like, and people that I think know a lot about things, I listen. I believe them. I just don't think people are just going to lie to me like that. Maybe I'm just naive. But that's a hope. Maybe if they said we hope to win a national championship, I'm good with that. But to
No, I
say,
think
I
that
think we're
I
going
really do
to.
think. I think that the confidence is. I think that they're building that they really do that they are building kind of back to the old Alabama under Nick Saban before he had terrible offensive coordinators. Kind of when Christian played pre-COVID Nick Saban, because I think there's two eras of Nick Saban. There's pre-COVID and post-COVID, and I'm going to talk about the pre-COVID era, where every offseason they went in there saying, "Yeah, we're going to win the national championship. We're going to compete for it. We're going to win." And I think that's an important mindset of not we're going to compete, because then if you're going in there to compete, whatever, like, cool, good for you to go in there and compete. Congratulations, you tried. But when you go in there and you saying, "Hey, our goal is to win the national championship," that's where we're at. Like that's where the standard is being put. I think right now is we are going to win. We want to win the national championship. We're going to win the national championship. Not we're going to go to the playoffs. Not we're going to win the SEC. No, we're going to win it all. Screw all the rest. We're going to win it all. And I think that's
the
a very
realistic
important
goal would be to get to the playoffs, since they didn't make it last year.
Yeah, but what do
So,
you
I mean,
expect players to say, though? I mean,
how about getting there and then talk about winning it? Get there first.
Yeah, but
because you didn't get there last year.
He's talking about but players, though. I mean, if they say
I
anything
get
other
it.
than, you know what I'm saying? Like that would honestly, that would be more of a red flag to me if they
It's just like but
didn't
Alabama, when
sound
you
confident.
played, you had more of a reason to be more confident, because you have much better
Yeah,
players. You
I
had proven
get
quarterbacks.
what you're saying.
You had frisbee catching dogs at receiver. You had dude that could go sack the quarterback. You had all of these different things happening, and that gave you're one of the best teams in the country. This team right now, nobody knows. There's too many questions. Reagan talking about Jalen Milroe going, and I get people tired of him and all that. But here's reality: the dudes you got in that room, they're improving squats. None of them quarterbacks have done anything. I mean, so to me, I think that's hard to say. Even as a player, yeah. Do we hope to get to the playoffs? Do we hope to win a national championship? That's our mindset. Positive thinking. I understand all of that. I get it. But I'm saying us from the outside looking in, if I'm looking at this team that was 14 out of 16 in rushing the passer, a team that could not run the football last year, a team that lost to Vanderbilt, got manhandled in the trenches and there where they've been dominant for almost 2 decades. I look at those things and say, well, y'all got a whole lot of proving to do to talk about national championship. That's just my opinion. I mean, I hope they win it. I hope they win it easily and go undefeated. But I'm just saying, I also want to be realistic in what I've seen up to this point.
Yeah, and I think to me, again, on the biggest difference between they haven't proved it is a lot of the players. Yeah, you're right. I obviously we've never seen Ty Simpson take a meaningful snap. We haven't seen Keelan Russell take a college snap ever. Would have liked to have seen them both at the A-Day game, and an actual A-Day game, not a scrimmage, which is a whole other bag of issues right now, which we could spend a whole show talking about the reasons why we're not having A-Day and all of that, but don't have enough time. But look, would have loved to have seen him in A-Day. I think there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic about this team over last year's team. Especially and it starts with Ryan Grubb. You have an experienced play caller. You have one of the best offensive minds in college football. People forget Nick Saban offered Ryan Grubb $3 million to come be his offensive coordinator, to try to hire Ryan Grubb away from Kalen DeBoer. And then instead of Ryan Grubb, we got Cleveland's tight end coach. So,
well, that's what I agree with you on. I think Grubb coming back, Reagan, is a much bigger thing. Now, I disagree with the Milroe take only because I will say I agree with the part where you did say if Grubb was here working with Milroe in that offense last year, I think it would look a lot different, and there would have been a different result. I do believe that. I get what you're saying, though, in terms of a lot of people do feel like Jalen's style of play, they just feel a lot more, I guess, comfortable with the guy, maybe even the likes of Ty or Keelan Russell. Sure, but I think with the right person, I think Jalen would have been. Look, the year before, we saw what Jalen was able to do in leading that team to a playoff SEC championship win over Georgia and a playoff game against Michigan where they really should have won. And hell, they win that game. I'm pretty sure they probably would have went and beat up on Washington themselves. But, that's all woulda, coulda, shoulda. But we're joined by Reagan Starn of R&R Cigars. Reagan, any other teams that you look at? I mean, Lenore Sellers and Gamecocks, some people got their eyes on them. But obviously Clemson is a team. I don't know how much you really, looked at them. But are you buying the Clemson take? I mean, a lot of people think they might be one of the best teams in the country. And if not them, who do you see?
I mean, I think it all comes down, there's a lot of teams out there that could be good. Penn State, it all comes down to Drew Aller. Clemson, it comes down to Cade Klubnik. Oregon, does Dan Lanning have finally put it all together? Texas, is Arch Manning, I laughed so hard at what Steve Spurrier said about Arch Manning's so good, but he couldn't unseat a 7th-round draft pick. That was so funny. I don't know if it was a real quote or a fake quote, but I don't know if you've seen the quote, but I laughed really hard about it. Yeah, he said. I don't know. I don't know if it was a real quote or if I was just had by one of the parody accounts on Twitter. But anyway, it could have gone either way. But Texas, obviously, a lot there. This guy that got benched at Boston College is talking a lot down in Tallahassee. It's kind of some of the craziest talk I've ever heard from a guy that got benched at Boston College, saying that he did everything himself at Boston College. It's like, okay, that's different. So I don't know, maybe they'll do something. I doubt it, but Mike Norvell, whatever.
Yeah, he's better than Danny Cannell. That's sure.
Is he?
Probably not, but
you think that okay? I mean, take your personal feelings aside. Take Danny Cannell. Take what you know of Danny Cannell. Imagine a world where Danny Cannell wasn't on Twitter, right? Danny Cannell was a great college quarterback. Danny Cannell had some really good seasons down in Tallahassee. He was a really good.
I won't give him the G word. I think he was a solid quarterback.
Yeah, I thought he was a good quarterback, but I don't think that's the one
college quarterback. But Danny Cannell had all kind of daggum weapons.
I mean,
too.
one of the most iconic games, ever, the Choke-A-Doke, right? And for FSU fans, that's always going to be what they remember Danny Cannell for. And now, all the crazy stuff he says on Twitter, which is just, asinine, but whatever.
I'll tell you what bothers me about him. He's my teammate. And when you know a guy in the locker room for years, Reagan, and then he comes off to be Mr. Tough Guy on Twitter, he I'm like, dude, you're one of the most soft powder puff, Sherman tissue, crybaby punk kid as a quarterback that I've ever seen. And he comes off and he's on and he's crushing kids and saying, I'm like, dude, really? Don't make me go get LT and some of my other people that tell you about Danny Cannell. I'm like, if I want to be real, I could be real. But come on, man, stop doing that. If you was a dude like that and then you want to kill people, okay. But when you were the powder puff, pom dude, stop it.
Yeah,
that's all.
Well, he should just stop it anyway because he just looks dumb just about every time he opens his mouth. So. There's that.
Oh God, we need to set up a boxing match. Speaking of boxing, because Reagan's got the fight this weekend, but we needed to set one up between the Pastor of Pain and Danny Cannell. That way you can show it there at R&R.
No.
Would be
I'm a lover,
hilarious.
not a fighter, Reagan. I'm a lover.
No, but I'm saying that's the new
fighter.
trend now. I mean, like influencers and anybody, they put them in a boxing ring and they make a lot of money doing it. I mean, that's the thing.
Let me get my fake knees. Let me get these fake knees, and then they call me Reagan after that.
Yeah, we'll definitely. Speaking of boxing,
he loves those influencer fights.
Yeah, he started with the influencer stuff, but he's about to fight a former champion allegedly. So we'll see how that goes. But speaking of boxing, Reagan, tell everybody what you guys have planned down there at R&R Cigars, 2703 Gary Fitz Street here in Tuscaloosa this weekend. Not only boxing, but also with the UFC fights. Charles Oliveira, I'm gonna share it on our YouTube stream with that fight card. Tell us what you got going on there at R&R Cigars.
Yeah, so it's a big fight weekend for us. There's a UFC fight on Saturday, but on Friday night, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, is back in the ring, which I thought he retired, but you know what? Here we go.
He's back.
I didn't know. Yeah, he's back. Yeah. But also I didn't know this, but Tuscaloosa local WBA champion Dion Nicholson is on the fight card as well. I guess he'll be defending his belt. So
I didn't know
that's
that.
really cool. So it's a big, I guess, like obviously Deontay Wilder's the big draw, but Dion Nicholson, local guy, get to watch him fight too. A lot of people, maybe they haven't heard of Dion Nicholson, WBA champion, and another great fighter to come out of Tuscaloosa. So we get to watch two of Tuscaloosa's own, the fight tomorrow night, and then the UFC, Tapura versus Oliveira. Oliveira, great fighter. Pantoja versus Cara France should be another really good one. It's two title fights on Saturday night. So yeah, you get boxing on Friday, UFC on Saturday. Combat sports is huge, and I think we're the only place in Tuscaloosa that actually shows the UFC too. So it should be a really big weekend. Get to watch some really good fights.
Oh yeah. Is there? Do you have any times, Reagan, that y'all plan on? Really, I know y'all are open pretty much virtually around the clock. It seems like, but any good times that people start rolling in Friday, Saturday that you got planned, and any big specials or things that you guys are throwing at them for coming in there?
Yeah. So we got So it's really cool. We're open till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday night. The fights usually start about 9 o'clock. I think UFCs are at 9, and the boxing, I swear boxing can start at like noon, and then they just box all day. But I think like Wilder probably will fight around 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And so I guess Richardson's probably about 9. So, get here around 8. We've got $7 top shelf margaritas with Patron or Casamigos or Don Julio. And then we do our smoked old fashioned for $7 on fight night. So those are two really good drink specials, I think. Plus all the cigars, all the other stuff, all the big screen TVs, comfy chairs. And then, you get if you go on the website, if you're listening and you're like, I just need some cigars for the weekend, just go on to our website, rnrcigars.com, use the promo code Miller's Edge, and that'll get you a 20% discount on your order.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And it's a good deal.
Yeah, again, I mean, the best spot was my place for years when I was coming down for Christian games. It was my relaxation spot. I get out there around afternoon whenever I want to start smoking a nice stick, and I love the porch. I'm an outside guy, so the porch was the wraparound porch, and especially at night and summer nights, very nice. Got fans, you got heat when it's cold, fans when it's warm, and the seating inside is impeccable, upstairs, downstairs. You can, call ahead if you need to, get your private room there too as well. So it is the spot if you want to go smoke a nice cigar and just really ingest some great sports like UFC and boxing, man. Reagan, good talking to you, bro.
Appreciate you,
Great to
Reagan.
talk to you guys.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. Like I said, yeah, we'll definitely, obviously, football season. We got Reagan smoking hot picks every week. You can hear Reagan's picks. Reagan's good when it comes to those games and predictions. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But we're definitely getting Reagan on here even before then, getting his takes on all this stuff. But again, this weekend at R&R Cigars, 2703 Gary Fitz Street here in Tuscaloosa, right in that downtown area. You can't miss it. The big mansion. Fight weekend, Boxing Friday. You got two of Tuscaloosa's very own. You got Deontay Wilder, Dion Nicholson as well. Fight on that card. And Saturday, the big UFC fight. I'm a big Charles Oliveira fan. They've got that there for you. Again, you can't find it anywhere else. Reagan and company put it on for you right there. Go and enjoy the fights, a nice stick and a nice drink, over 160 bourbons right there at R&R Cigars, the official cigar provider of Alabama football since 2014. Reagan, we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Later, bro.
Good deal. We got to get out of here. We getting out a little early because Chase was nice and extended some breaks for us. But man,
thank you, hey,
Chase.
You're the man, Chase.
He is.
God bless you. It's good to hear from y'all.
Have
Yes,
I
sir.
told you lately? You my dude.
Whoa. Okay.
See,
All right.
y'all got some bad sis.
No. It's the younger generation. You just got to be careful.
Oh, well,
when you say
this
certain
is all
things,
the
man.
Donald. This is the Donald
No,
J. Trump era.
Oh my! Come on! Don't bring random stuff up. Don't bring. Appreciate everybody. Up next, you got T-Town Sports Daily right here, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
Peace.